Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube video segment, I'm going to be talking about someone you may have heard of. His name is Tim Corbin, and he is the head coach of the men's NCAA baseball Vanderbilt Commodores. Now, I met Tim Corbin one time, and he was very reticent, very humble person. There's really not enough superlatives to say about him. He is a phenomenal coach. He has transformed the Vanderbilt Commodores men's baseball team into a perennial powerhouse, a team that was really once a dormant team, I felt, and a team that really did not have much success until he came along. Uh, Vanderbilt Commodores men's baseball team did not have a 40-win season until the arrival of Tim Corbin. And in 13 seasons, he's had, I believe, 8 41 plus win seasons, actually. And he's had some 50 plus win seasons as well. And as many of you know, this season they went to the NCAA, they went College World Series, which they did lose in 3 games. They won the previous season in 3 games. But this team and what Tim Corbin has done is really, it's almost indescribable and beyond words. Now, they've had one College World Series championship since Corbin arrived and 3 appearances. And in 13 years, he's just done such a tremendous job. I can't really even describe it. I mean, it's really unbelievable. The team this season was number 9 in ERA. That was really the mainstay of the team. I felt the pitching, but also was tied for number 4 in home runs. And the power numbers have really improved immensely for this team. And they were 11-7 in 1-run games, 13-6, a record, following a loss, which is a tribute and testament to the resiliency of the team. And really, I believe in sports in general that the team often takes on that demeanor or personality of the head coach or manager, and I think there's no exception in this case. And the team strikes me as a team very disciplined. You don't hear about players becoming embroiled in dissension, or I should say embroiled in any off the field scandals or controversy. You don't hear about dissension or any turmoil that exists between teammates. It seems like the team manages to stay very disciplined. They're very low key, and they're focused, and they seem, if something happens like a loss takes place, they just move right to the next game. And because redemption is very short. It's really there's really redemption is very short proximity to the time a team loses, because in baseball, because you play one game and you often will have another one maybe the following day or 2 days later. So there's really not much time to really become too down or despondent following a loss anyway. But that being said, this is a team now that's really become like a juggernaut, and this has become one of the more dominant teams in NCAA baseball. And Tim Corbin strikes me as someone that really is more than just a coach to this team. He's like a mentor as well, and helps develop the players as people as well as athletes. And this is David Price. Many of you may have heard of him. He played under Tim Corbin, and he's fairly popular MLB player right now. And we look at this, and a number of players that played under Tim Corbin went on to play Major League Baseball, and that's not something that I'm obviously not flabbergasted or in a state of shock over, of course, and given Tim Corbin's ability as a coach. And back to what I was saying, as far as his ability to develop people, players as people, good coaches have the ability, I believe, to motivate players as far as intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation as well. They can motivate them to become, just as far as the better athlete. They could see that it helps when there is incentive, of course, to become a major league ball player because of what's there monetarily, but also for the inner reward of just becoming a better athlete and helping in being a great teammate and helping your team collectively be the best it can be. And I think those things are essential in as far as the development of an athlete, regardless of sports. So another thing too is that this team has won over 50 games, I believe, the last 3 seasons. So over the last 3 seasons, the team has compiled a 156-54 record, which is really astounding and astronomical. And Tim Corbin, during his tenure with the Vanderbilt Commodores, has amassed a 567 and 271 record. So that's almost something incomprehensible. The coach for Virginia obviously has done a stellar job with his team at winning the NCAA title this season. But I think maybe unequivocally Tim Corbin may do the best job based on what he has and as far as the development of the athletes. In 2014, if I'm not mistaken, they had replaced 5 or 6 starters for the team as far as the offense goes, and really, and then they go on in 2014 to win the NCAA title. I think that epitomizes what Tim Corbin is able to do for the Vanderbilt Commodores and what he brings to the table. Now, don't get me wrong, stellar athletes do figure prominently in a team's success. I think what happens is when a team begins to build a winning tradition, you're able to allure the marquee and elite players to join your team, and then that success perpetuates throughout the years because you're continually able to draw the marquee upper echelon players out of high school or what have you. So that definitely plays a role too, but I think a good coach really helps grow that talent and that ability, and manages to keep the players on the same page, enables them to play very cohesively, and maintains that chemistry. And everybody basically, if you get all your players to play to the maximum potential in their capabilities, then you have a team that obviously can go pretty far. And I think that's obviously the case as far as the Vanderbilt Commodores go. And I'm sure undoubtedly the Vanderbilt Commodores will be one of the favorites to go to Omaha next season and win the whole thing. And it wouldn't surprise me in the least. This is a team right now that's just become very dominant. It's become a perennial contender now for that NCAA title. And as far as the College Men's World Series baseball goes, and really, there's nothing for me to think that they won't go to Omaha to at least get in that tournament. So, and really, that's basically all that I wanted to say as far as the Vanderbilt Commodores go, and in Tim Corbin's monumental impact on this team. So, and I believe that he's obviously somebody. I'm assuming that the NCAA has some kind of Hall of Fame for college baseball personnel, and assuming there is, I would imagine he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he'd get in on the first attempt, I believe, in my opinion. Well, anyway, people, this is Edwin Learnard, and until next time, everybody, stay well.